This is Toyota Buck. So this is a common question I get asked is about the four-wheel drive system. This will apply for most Toyotas outside of full-time four-wheel drive models. And when I say four-wheel drive, I mean there's some type of transfer case to engage the low on it. There's pretty much consistency there. So you got two-wheel drive, slight heel. Again, everybody thinks they need four-wheel drive, but decent set of tires will get you around a lot of stuff here. Now, if you find yourself in a scenario that you need a little bit more, I'm going to show you a trick here. So if you press that once, that is auto LSD, and that's a limited slip differential. And what that means is if that back right tire starts spinning, it will brake and send power over to the other side. So even if you have a two-wheel drive Tacoma, this or Tundra or 4Runner, this will help get you around, because a lot of manufacturers sell what I would consider a two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive truck. And what I mean is, I'm sure you've seen an old pickup truck, you get out in the field or something, this back right tire is spinning and it never sends power over to the other side. That's an open differential. Well, with turning the traction control, hitting the button one time, that auto LSD, when this wheel spins, it'll put brake force and send the power to the other side. It will also do the same if you are in four-wheel drive, sending the power here, back over to the other side. So in effect, it gets all four wheels moving, whereas a manufacturer that sells an open differential truck, one tire will be pulling potentially up here, one tire will be pulling back here. So really, even though it's a 4x4 sticker badged right on the side of the bed, it's only pulling two wheels potentially in a scenario. Now, if you're going along and you need a little more traction, I'm a two-wheel drive, you can reach over and engage it to 4 high on the go, and if you watch it, that system will engage there. Now, I have the traction off. You can have the traction on in four-wheel drive, and that is what I would suggest the majority of users doing as they're driving in the snow, because what you wouldn't want to do is hit the throttle a little bit too abruptly and all of a sudden the truck starts to slide. That traction control is a catch in itself. Now, if you find yourself in deep mud, rut, you need those wheels to spin, that's where turning the traction control off would be a little bit more of a benefit. And if you find yourself in a really sticky situation, not that this is, you can use four-wheel drive low. Now, from the engagement from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive high, most Toyotas up to about 50 miles an hour. Check the owner's manual for your specific model. A lot of times, certain models with the visor, if you flip it down, will have instructions here. This model doesn't have that. I kind of wish Toyota would do that consistently across the board. For four-wheel drive low, you're going to need to put it in neutral, come to a complete stop. And this model, you're going to press and turn. If you have an off-road to 4Runner, it may have that manual here, and then again on another model like the newer Tacomas, the location can change a little bit, and there is levers for some of the 4Runners. Now, four-wheel drive low, you'll notice I didn't press the traction control button. It automatically turns the vehicle stability control off. You can still manually turn traction control off as well. Now, if you notice, like, it's definitely got the traction today. Four-wheel drive low isn't needed, but four-wheel drive low changes the actual gearing, so that's good if you're really trying to pull a heavy boat out of a boat ramp, get a friend pulled out of a ditch, something like that. That's where I would say four low. Or if you're in a really sticky situation, tough off-road, really climbing a crazy grade or something like that, that extra gearing does help control and give you extra power to the wheels in low speed situations. Now, four-wheel drive low is not for, hey, there's a little bit of snow on the ground and I'm driving down the road at 40, 50 miles an hour. That is not what low's for. That's where you need to be in four-wheel drive high. In the majority of road scenarios driving, four-wheel drive high is going to give you that extra traction, extra stability. But yeah, just a quick little view there of what your engagement. Now, to come out of four-wheel drive low, same thing, come to a complete stop, put it back in neutral. In this case, we're going to have to push. Again, depending on if you have a lever or what model you have, it might change a little bit. That's going to go back to your four-wheel drive high. And then if you want to go from four-wheel drive high to low, back two-wheel drive, you could do that as well. Now again, four-wheel drive high to two-wheel drive, you can do that on the fly. Just make sure you're not spinning in the process. Now, this one's done it pretty consistently, but for some reason you go from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, Or if you're in neutral and it won't go into 4 low, sometimes it's a good idea just to put the vehicle in reverse, let it roll back a couple feet, and then if it doesn't sit, go back into drive. Toyotas, for the most part, have a very heavy-duty gear-on-gear transfer case, so sometimes you can come to a stop at the right spot and those gears just don't mesh together perfectly. If that's the case, just let the vehicle roll back or forward a couple feet, and if it doesn't auto engage, just re-click the engagement there and it'll lock in. And this one actually has a rear locker, which you would have to put in 4 low and then engage. That locks your back 2 axles together. I'm going to do a separate video that's going to go into the multi-terrain select and the lockers later, but this is just a basic, hey, get you going for most four-wheel drive systems on the transfer case. If you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. I'll be glad to ask. And for four-wheel drive high, you can run about what you want to. So if you're on your basic road, a little bit of snow, if you're running around your neighborhood at 20 miles an hour or up on the highway at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, four-wheel drive high, if you need that extra traction, is where you want to just leave it in four-wheel drive high, that extra traction. Another tidbit on the traction control, if you press it once, it's going to do that. And then if you press and hold, that's 2 different modes. So if you notice, one had LSD, which is limited slip differential. That extended press, that's if you're kind of wanting to be just stupid and do a burnout or something that's not going to engage that braking system on the back to transfer the power back and forth there. But again, not necessarily the most helpful in getting confident traction. The LSD will do better in the snow. Now, one other comment when you're talking about driving in inclement weather, I don't feel like it has to be said, but maybe should be said. Four-wheel drive is going to be very confident for getting you through a lot of snow. Again, your tire varies, your skill level, road conditions. One thing to be mindful of is four-wheel drive may help you out a little bit in the ice if it's a slick hill or something getting up. Extra traction always help, but four-wheel drive and ice, it don't matter really what type of system you have. Ice can put you in a bad situation very quick. If there is ice, don't be overconfident in your four-wheel drive system regardless, but especially if there's ice or black ice on the road, that's a whole different ball game. I will creep through a section if there's ice, whereas if it's 4 or 5 inches of snow, I'll confidently be moving along at a pretty decent pace if I know my tire in the vehicle. Just something to keep in mind. Again, ice can be very deadly very quick. Welcome to the channel. I have over a decade of experience in the Toyota world, and when questions get technical, I'm typically the go-to person. If I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to figure it out. Automotive industry changes quickly. This channel is for inspiring salespeople, people debating buying, and enthusiasts all alike. This will include walkarounds, how-tos, configurations, specs, along with some common asked questions. So if you have any, drop them in the comments and it could be the next video. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And until the next one, keep the wheels moving and hope you have a good one.